Frozen in Time, PAH Warriors podcast, the pod that shares the stories of those affected by CoolSculpting, where we dive into the untold stories that have changed lives. It's where silenced voices find strength, where stories of pain, resilience, and the fight for recognition are brought to light. Here, every journey matters. Every battle fought is honored. Your voice matters. Join us in this vital conversation. Welcome to today's episode of our Frozen in Time Faceless podcast, where we dive deep into the stories that challenge, inspire, and transform us. Today, we're joined by a remarkable guest, whom we'll refer to as Jasper, as she shares her journey through a challenging and eye-opening experience with a condition known as PAH, or Paradoxical Adipose Hyperplasia, following CoolSculpting treatment. This condition has not only affected Jasper physically, but also opened up a dialogue about the cosmetic industry, medical awareness, and the resilience of the human spirit. Jasper embarked on this journey in 2022, seeking CoolSculpting as a way to feel more confident for her 30th birthday and an upcoming trip. Despite her initial research, she was confronted with unexpected outcomes, leading to a deeper understanding of her body and the medical industry at large. Welcome, Jasper.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ooh. Jasper, could you walk us through the moment you decided to undergo CoolSculpting, and what were your hopes at that time?
Yes. So like you mentioned, in the year of 2022, I actually had to undergo surgery on my right hand right at the beginning of the year, January. And I was a person who was actually very dedicated and in the gym on a weekly basis, daily basis. And because of the surgery, I was not able to be in the gym for a few months. And because of that, I was feeling very down. My 30th birthday was coming up. I had a trip and I wanted to be in my best shape. And I also remembered at times, previous years, something called CoolSculpting. So I looked back into it and I was like, okay, this seems like something that I can afford and I can do that's not super invasive, because I did not want to go the surgery route. That's not something that was on my mind at the time. I just wanted something where I could just go into a quick med spa, do a little procedure, and then have these results within a few weeks. And I was like set on CoolSculpting. And that's when I decided this was something that made sense and wasn't going to be a lot of downtime. And that was the direction that I landed on.
Wow, it resonates because of myself as well. But for you, when you noticed this wonkiness in your body area that you had CoolSculpting, what did you do? Like, what were the next steps?
It was very strange because I was noticing these areas that it was shaped as in the applicator, the CoolSculpting applicator itself. And it would rise and get very thick. It wasn't hard for me, but I was just in awe. I was like, what is happening? This is kind of the complete reverse of what I wanted. And my body at that point was far left. It was far gone to where I started at the beginning of 2022 when I was in the gym. Even after the surgery, my hand surgery, it was far left than that. So I was just like complete shock. And I started to Google. I went straight to Google, and I typed in, thick butter-like shape after CoolSculpting. And at that time, there wasn't a lot that came up, but there were some photos that came up that showed exactly what my stomach looked like. And I started to freak out. So I had called the med spa that next day and was kind of like, listen, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm feeling. And I've researched on Google and this is what it says. And they were like, can you come in the next day? And I was like, yes, I will be there. So that's how I started the whole process.
Oh my goodness. And not to mention that you're getting ready for your trip and your birthday, the
Yeah.
trauma, the stress that endures us as we experience the unseen, the unknown. So and you had the consultation at the spa. How do you feel that they treated you when obviously they know about PAH? What was their reaction?
So when I did go back to that med spa the next day, the person that did my CoolSculpting sessions, she kind of wanted to like look back at my pictures to see where I started and where I was now. It didn't seem like it was flat out like, oh yeah, you have it. But because I came in a little bit, not as active and had that body like I used to. So it was a little bit debatable. But when she brought in one of their physicians, I think that are associated with that med spa, the physician was like, yes, this is PAH. And from there, it just went blank because I was just like, reading from Google, it was like the only way to get rid of it was surgery. And this is not at all where I wanted to end up.
So basically, the spa diagnosed the PAH rather than going to a physician, which, in my experience, the physicians are not even aware of what PAH is. But this
Correct.
physician at this med spa knew exactly what it was.
Correct.
Wow. Did you seek out any kind of representation in like an attorney? Because a lot of the girls that are, in this community have recently, and we're talking 2024 March, have been dismissed by all the attorneys. Like they won't even return calls, return emails. They send out dismissal letters. Even if they were at one time being represented, they're all being dismissed. I don't know if you have sought out that legal aspect to represent you moving forward.
So I actually decided to forego looking into legal action. I came upon the Facebook PAH support group by doing a bunch of research, and I saw this class action lawsuit that was being put on by the PAH support group. And I looked more into that to see if it was going anywhere, but it didn't seem like it was. And then I saw a bunch of comments from the support group members on how their process with legal action was going. And I just mentally wasn't ready to go that route. I just wanted it gone. So the quickest route for me was to get a diagnosis and then to look into a surgeon to then get reimbursed by the manufacturer to go the surgery route, because I did not want to mentally, emotionally, and financially go that route. And I was at a point where I was also noticing other health effects, and I just kind of wanted this out of my body as soon as I could.
Yeah. Can you describe how PAH has impacted your daily life and your overall lifestyle?
Yeah, so since it was upcoming on my birthday, I had my annual physician with my PCP, and I did mention PAH, and she had no clue what I was talking about. And we had my blood work, my annual blood work, and then noticed a lot of things that have fluctuated in different areas of my body, and was diagnosed with subclinical hypothyroidism, which all of these things came out of nowhere.
Wow.
So I just associated it with PAH because of the inflammation, which is something that could lead to hyperthyroidism. So I was just at my wit's end, and I just wanted it out. So I just did all I could to fast track that route of surgery.
No, goodness. Yeah, so doing this has led to other more medical issues.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm so sorry. From your perspective, Jasper, what do you wish more people understood about PAH and its impact?
Well, I would say I would just hope more people understood about PAH itself, because I going to, work and family and trying to explain why I have to have this surgery and the repercussions it's having on my body. It's very taxing. It's like you have to kind of give them the whole backstory and then also explain why you're now going this surgery route when you didn't want to go the surgery route initially. And then when you have to explain what kind of surgery it is, it's like liposuction. A lot of girls are just like getting liposuction just because they want it. And it's like, this is not at all something I wanted initially. If I wanted liposuction, I would have gotten that from the start. This is the route that I chose, so I wouldn't have to go that route. But it's very hard trying to explain to, your boss, like, I have to take off work because I'm getting lipo. And it's like, it's not lipo, it's because of PAH. And they're like, well, what is that? And then trying to explain, well, it's because my tissues have overgrown in my body. And they're kind of like, well, what effect does that have on you? And no one really knows the health effects, because there's no trials, there's no tests that have been done, so no one really understands except yourself and what you're going through and what you're feeling and how your body is changing. So it's a lot to take on to try to explain to really everyone what you're going through.
I had a conversation the other day with another PAH. I call us warriors because we are victims of the misconceptions and the lack of awareness.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we go into these spas and it's like, we're all hyped up. We're like, oh, we don't want the surgery.
Yeah.
We just want this CoolSculpting and all these pictures, and everybody looks so beautiful. Why not us? And
Mm-hmm.
here we are facing, challenges, and the legal system challenges, and all of it, the support, the understanding, and others stepping forward. So I am so grateful that you're sharing your story. So looking towards the future, what are your hopes for advancements in PAH awareness and treatment? I know that when we go to these spas, on line 7 or 8, it says something like PAH. Is that even, or was that even explained to you if you had to sign those documents at the spa?
The person who did my sessions, she kind of went into it, but it wasn't as in depth as it should have been, and made it seem like it was something that a 1 in a million person would get. And if so, it would be to this particular area and this particular type of person. And I didn't fit any of those qualifications that she had mentioned. So I thought I was in the clear, but that is not at all the case after seeing all of these people who have gone and who are going through the same trials and tribulations that I'm going with PAH. And I feel like this needs to be put out more in the media. It has to be put out more in books, more in schools where doctors and nurses are learning. Like, I feel like everyone needs to understand what this is. And also tests needs to be done. I'm not sure what the long-term effects are going to be on my body. And that is something that is very scary.
I know it. What comes to mind too, when you talk about tests, like, could there be blood work drawn up before CoolSculpting? Maybe you are a different blood type that doesn't fit this category of accepting CoolSculpting. I don't know where that just came from, but I'm just like, I'm like test. Yeah, test. Let's talk about that. And education and knowledge and all of it. So, and not so much the smoke and mirrors of it all. Like, oh yeah, okay, it's just this, it's just that, and da 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 da. Despite the challenges, Jasper, PAH has brought into your life, what keeps you moving forward?
For me, I just don't want to have this hinder me any longer. Like, I have so much more life to live, and I can't have this continually bring me down. For me, I couldn't go out to my normal, like, just shopping. Like, I would go on and try on clothes, and I'm just like, okay, I can't do this anymore because nothing fits. Nothing fits. And it was very depressing. And I no longer want to be depressed, but I also want awareness. So at the same time, I can't let this bring me down. I have to move forward, but at the same time, I do not want to forget. And I want people to know, like, this is something that happens to a lot of people, folks. It could happen to anyone, but you have to continue to move forward because we can't let this hold us back.
Yeah. Take a breath, sweetie. I can hear it. I can actually feel it. So much emotion coming out of you like right now. And I just want you to take a moment. It is with your intention. It is with your compassionate energy. It is with your infinite love that you are and embracing this. This is a sacred journey. So it is. So just and reflecting on your journey, how has this experience changed your view on cosmetic treatments and the importance of thorough medical consultations, which you kind of said a little bit before? Yeah, I really like to hear that.
So I just recently underwent the surgery, the vasor liposuction, the beginning of this year to remove the PAH in my mid and lower abdomen, as well as my upper arms. And I was recommended or suggested by the surgeon to do lymphatic drainage massages after the surgery. So I have been doing those, but at the same time, those masseuses kind of also have recommended, like, oh, you should get a facial or you should also do this. And I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything outside of just this massage because I'm scared. I don't know what any of these other cosmetic, whether it's just a facial, would do to my body. I'm terrified. So I no longer want to even think about any type of cosmetic. I don't want to think about it. So
Cosmetic treatment. No, I get
there
it.
we
I
go.
totally get it. I do. I mean, the closest I come to personally, like in this journey myself, is red light therapy. So I do a lot of red light therapy in the morning, 20 minutes. I have been doing a lot of acupuncture, but the cosmetic treatments, no.
Yeah.
No. No, no, no. I know that you got your first surgery and some of the girls are on their second and third surgery because it keeps like coming back. And I'm like, I can't even do the first surgery yet. Like my
Yeah.
mental brain is just like, and I'm a little bit more, seasoned than you. So I'm just
Mhm.
like, what? And
Yeah.
I have I just think that I'm not ready for it at the very moment yet. Learning from you, getting insights from you and your experience and your advice that you shared for others is so valuable. And so could you just share something, be it in thought, a life philosophy, or an approach that inspires you to keep moving with? I like to share that rather than moving forward, moving with, because we're moving with this shit show.
Well, for me, I feel like for a lot of other people as well, it's just solely we are here. You live your life to the fullest because you never know when that day is will come. So it's like keep moving with, keep on with it is basically how I look at it, and hope everyone else is able to as well, or at least try and to get there at some point.
Keep on keeping on is what comes to me for you. And for
Yeah.
me, it's like, it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
So I think we'll leave it at that. And so thanking you so much from the bottom of my heart. We all are, for sharing this journey with us, Jasper. Throughout today's conversation, we've seen not just physical and emotional toll of PAH, but also the strength and determination it has ignited in Jasper. Her story is a testament to the complexity of our decisions and the unforeseen paths that they can lead us on. It's a reminder of the resilience within us all and the importance of advocacy, research, and community support in facing life's unexpected challenges. Jasper, your journey is both a cautionary tale and a radiance of hope for those facing similar challenges. So thank you for your openness, your courage, and the insights you've shared with us today. And to our listeners, thank you so much for joining us on this journey of understanding and empathy. Until next time, may we all carry forward the courage to face our challenges and the wisdom to seek support when we need it the most.
Frozen in Time, PAH Warriors podcast, the pod that shares the stories of those affected by CoolSculpting. Together, we are louder, stronger, and impossible to ignore. Contact information and social media links are below.